Welcome to Speed Vector, the podcast dedicated to the art, risk, and obsession of speed flying. I'm your host, Victor Garcia, speed flyer, skydiver, cinematographer, Navy veteran, and full-time gravity junkie. Every week, we dive into the lines we fly, the gear we trust, and the stories that push us past the ridge and into the void. Whether you're just learning to launch or chasing the perfect line, this is where speed flyers come to connect, learn, and stoke the fire. This is Speed Vector.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Speed Vector podcast. This is episode number 9. Before I get to today's guest, I want to clear the air a little bit. I made a mistake when I was reviewing the GoFlare Global line in episode 4, way back when, just like a month ago. There's a few times in that podcast that I mentioned the word reflex when I was really talking about the kite riser system. Two completely different things. Reflex profile is internal within the wing. It helps it be collapse resistant, amongst other things. And the kite riser system is a pulley system that manipulates the wings via the controls. So anyway, just wanted to clear the air. I do understand that wing, not on a necessarily an engineering level, but I do understand the aerodynamics. I do have one, and it is my go-to wing, so I wasn't speaking out of turn. I just was using the wrong verbiage, and I do apologize for that, for the confusion. If anybody was scratching their heads or yelling at their phone or wherever they listen to this podcast, I apologize. I stand corrected. My fault. Anyway, today's a cool one. Got a guy by the name of George Barnes on the podcast. George hails from Chamonix, France, where he was born and raised. This dude's a shredder. He's 18 years old. He's surrounded by pilots that are maybe a year or two older than him that are very, very well known in the sport. And George is making his way to the top. I think it's a combination of the people that he's around and the terrain that he flies and just the accessibility of that terrain. We get into that deep in the podcast, but it's a good one, and it's one that I think people will gain a lot from. We dive into all sorts of topics, and it's a lot of fun sitting down and talking to him. We did unfortunately have some technical issues during the podcast, which kind of ends it relatively abruptly, but it's worth putting out there because I think that there's a lot of gold in this podcast. There's a lot to be had, a lot to be gained as the listener. And George will definitely be back on the show in the future. He's super cool. Seems like he's got a good head on his shoulders. Seems like he could be a really good ambassador for the sport. Appreciate you guys being here. Hope you enjoy. Here we go. Sweet. I think we're live, dude. We're doing it.
Sounds like it. Sounds like we're getting somewhere.
What's up, man? This is George Barnes. Did I pronounce that right?
Yeah, definitely.
Sick, man. Well, introduce yourself to me, because we just kind of met virtually, and to whoever else is listening, if you don't mind.
Well, present myself. So my name's George Barnes. I was born and bred in Chamonix, so French Alps. Kind of like the mecca for
everything outdoors. Yeah, literally every sport.
Sports and outdoors. Yeah. And I mean, I'm originally a skier, but got into speed flying this last winter.
No way, dude. So you're a year into it. Wow.
Yeah, but in Chamonix, you just kind of like just fly so often over here. It's like ridiculous. I was watching Connor Peterson's videos and stuff about them when they came over to Chamonix, and they were talking about how ridiculous it is, the amount of vertical that you can get in a day.
Yeah, I mean, what is Mont Blanc, like 9,000 vert if you go off of
9,000 feet is, I don't know, Mont Blanc's 4,810 meters. So
wow.
But we've
That's...
got, but like what's amazing about Chamonix is there are a few downsides with this valley. I mean, it is quite strict when it comes to speed flying. There are a lot of regulations about what we're allowed to do, and it's almost an illegal sport in the valley. I mean, they don't like us.
Really?
Speed riding, no problem. So in winter, but in summer we have a lot more problems with the tandem pilots. So it's
Tandem
quite
paraglide
problematic.
pilots.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Ah,
But then on
that's
it's annoying. Never get on. No one gets
that's
on.
surprising to hear. I actually didn't know that. It's from my
Oh,
perspective, I
it's
think.
proper fight,
Yeah.
like real fights. I mean, it's they hate us quite
Why?
literally. We come in fast, we scare passengers, and because we're not bringing any money to the valley. So
Right, right. So you're talking about paraglide tandem operations.
yeah,
Am I
yeah,
am I
they
right on
just don't
that?
like us, which I can understand. I've had plenty of cases where you kind of buzz them because they're taking up too much space. And
Yeah.
but they never get along either between, which is really complicated because they like we had a landing zone called the Savoy, which is at the bottom of one of our like classic summer routes, except we got banned for numerous
Hmm.
reasons. But basically, there's a landing strip, but all the tandem pilots land on it and do not move out the way. So when speedwings come in, they're not happy because we're coming in at ridiculous speeds, and they start
Right.
complaining,
Yeah, and I
which
mean
is a bit of a
you're
shame.
totally in control. You're just flying past them because they're there. You're not going to
Yeah,
hit
yeah,
them
yeah,
unless they
exactly.
make like an erratic movement at the last second. But even then, you probably aren't a foot away from them. So,
Not
um,
necessarily, no, yeah.
right, I
And
mean
like
you could be, but
it was
yeah.
the Savoy's been illegal. It's been illegal to land there for 6 years because basically it's a field. It's like a small winter beginner slope.
Hmm.
But there's all the bigger apartment buildings around it at the entrance and down the side. And 6 years ago, there was a fatal accident speed riding into the building. So they banned the landing at that field because it traumatized a lot of people. It was a very nice day and kind of everyone saw it. So for the locals, it was a hard hit. Except, well, we're not the only other landing fields miles away. So everyone continued to land there, and tandem pilots kind of agreed that we just move to the side of the field, and as long as we're not in the way. And then a friend of mine crashed hit a tree, and that was
Oh,
like final blow. They said, no, we're stopping now. And now there's police there every day, and
were they
quite complicated.
your buddy that hit the tree? Did he? I'm assuming a
Yeah,
he. Did he survive?
yeah, he survived, but he was quite old. I mean, for speed flying, he's in his 40s, and like, I mean, he broke a lot of bones. It's not, it's like, I mean, you don't fix the same when you're 40.
But dude, I'm 33, and I'm telling you, like I've broken bones before. I was a bit younger, at least maybe in my 20s, and then in my teens before that, and never had surgery until now for a broken bone, at least. And I will say there is some truth to what you just said. You definitely don't bounce the way that you do, or the way that I did, at least when I was like your age or younger, or even a little bit older. Even taking care of yourself, even like doing all the right stuff, it's still you're totally right. Um, but I'm gonna try not to take that personally. When you say 40 years old, man, I'm only like 6.5 years away from that, so you better watch it, buddy.
It's true, it's true.
I
Well, I
feel
mean,
I feel like I'm about 14, like mentally. Maybe a little bit more wisdom than a 14-year-old, but yeah, my
a
body
bit
feels
more common sense.
probably 40. Yeah, yeah, a little bit more, a little bit more. I think open to like understanding risks and taking
Oh,
precautions to
I'm
not
sure, yeah.
cross the line. You know,
I'm sure,
um,
yeah, like, Chamonix,
but
that's kind
anyway,
of a problem we've got. We're not very
I,
well seen everywhere.
but
Just
it's so interesting to me because I forget the statistic and I don't want to misquote it, but a lot of people die every single year on Mont Blanc. In fact, I
a
think
lot.
this year has been like really bad up there
Yeah, it has
for
been. But that's Mont Blanc's deadliest mountain in Europe. It's yeah, it says it kills about 100 people a year, which is a
maybe in the
fair bit.
world. Maybe in the world, it's
It's
close.
close to the world, yeah, anyway. Because so many people try and climb it. Well, Not many speed flyers do it because it's a long way to hike up. But
Certainly.
we've got lifts. We've got a lot of lifts. We've got six lifts in the valley that take us
Wow.
everywhere. Um, they all accept speed riding. Well, no, there's only one that don't accept speed riding, but I mean it's a beginner place and it's rubbish anyway. Uh,
Mm.
there's a place at the top of the valley called La Tour, absolutely amazing for learning. That's where I learn. That's where most people learn because it's not steep at all, and it's got a big field that's reserved for learning and landing. And like you learn in that field just to handle wings with your skis, and
Hmm.
like it's only about 300 feet worth, not even 300 feet worth of flight, like vertical. Anyway, when you take off, so it's only a really short flight, but to get those first flying sensations, it's amazing just to learn. That I spent so long up there just practicing, and little by little you gradually go up in the valley. We've got less beginner friendly areas, and then
Sure.
we've got really not beginner friendly areas.
I've
Um,
seen videos, yeah, and it's I envy that so much because speed riding, at least in the U.S. as of the last handful of years, isn't lift access at all. Like there isn't a single that I know of, a single ski resort or ski area
that
in the
accepts
United
it.
States that allows it, and it's a liability thing, which I get. It's so interesting to me that France is so cool with speed riding but not speed flying, right? The foot launch versus the launching the skis, because I mean, this is just an assumption, but in the winter, there's more people on that mountain doing something
Yeah,
than there
definitely.
are in the summer, right? I mean, is that
Yeah,
fair?
definitely. But I mean, it's a bit different. Well, the thing with France, and this is kind of where France is why it's such a good place for extreme sports. There's not a lot of places in Europe where speed flying's legal. Most places in Europe, it's really strict. In
Hmm.
the Alps, France is it's a sport with no laws. There is no laws about it in France. You
Wow.
like me, you don't need to go to a school. You don't. I didn't go through a school to do it. You don't need a license. You don't need anything. It's just buy your wing and throw yourself off the mountain. They
Right.
do not care
Right.
because in
Yeah.
France
Oh,
it
sorry, go
works
on.
in a way like no, I mean it works in a way. America resorts are private, like
Right.
wherever they are, Jackson Hole, Mammoth, they're private resorts where they charge fortune, don't they? France, it's not private, it's owned by the government. And these resorts, well, they don't care. You go up there, it's up to you to stay alive. I mean, it's not their problem. They'll be there to pick you off the mountain, but
Yeah,
it's
do you
up to
just
you.
like pay like a fee for like helicopter rescue for the search and rescue folks to
It's
come get
free.
you? It's free. It's free in
Well, with
France
insurance, it's yeah, free.
with insurance. Gotcha. So
With
you
insurance, it's free.
just like regular medical insurance, is that what you mean, or is
Yeah,
it
yeah,
like
yeah.
separate?
You need a flying insurance as well,
I
but
see. Okay.
just
Yeah.
regular because I've got friends that didn't have a flying insurance and they didn't have to pay anything. They just got normal thing, and so
Wow.
that was another reason why they weren't very happy in Chamonix. There's too many people flying without flying insurances.
I mean, that should be an easy fix. How much does flying insurance cost?
I
Do you
don't know.
know? No,
Not
you don't
loads.
have
It's not a lot.
it.
I do have it, but it's my mum that paid for it. So I
Oh,
mean,
dude, I miss those days, man. I mean, my mom still takes good care of me too. Don't get me wrong, but it is
it's
nice
not the
having
same.
mom around. Yeah, dude, that's crazy. It's interesting to hear that speed riding is more acceptable there on a wider, like in a
No,
wider
it's like
basis, I
totally
guess.
acceptable as long as you're out of the resort. There's no problem. When you're
I
in the
see.
resort, though, when you're in the resort, um, there are certain zones that you're allowed to go to. But
Oh, so
basically,
there are inbound zones that you can
yeah, yeah,
speed
there
ride
are for
in.
practicing. They're just practicing, like they're not flying. I mean, but in France, I don't know how America works, but the resort is basically the slopes. Anything outside of the slopes is not the resort. Like
You
we
mean
use
like
the
stuff
term
that's
oft.
groomed, like groomed slopes
Anything
versus
groomed is the belongs to the
oh,
resort. Anything that's not groomed, well, you do whatever you want. It's not their problem. You're out of the resort.
interesting. Yeah, so my real job is I'm a ski patrolman at one of the resorts here in Washington, and we have boundary lines. So like,
Okay.
like perimeter lines. So if you go beyond the perimeter, you're in the backcountry. We'll still come and rescue people. We do it like multiple times a week. People just because we've got a lot of really good backcountry access at the resort that I work at.
Okay, yeah.
So people like that shouldn't be out there go out there. We will come rescue them. We do all the time, but they only groom though a certain amount, like a certain percentage of the resort's area, like skiable land.
Mm.
Um, so but there's plenty of stuff that's not groomed that's well within bounds. I think I actually might have heard that years ago, but that if you're off piste, you're technically out of bounds. So like if you're like, let's say you want to ski a mogul run that's not
Yeah.
groomed because it's a mogul run, and you get hurt and you're just outside of that like groomed area, will they come scoop you up if you got hurt or no?
Oh, they'll always come and scoop you up. They don't care if you're on the piste, off the piste, they'll scoop you up. It's free. It's not the
Right.
same people that'll come and pick you up though. Well,
Not the
it is.
same people.
We've got two rescue services in the valley. We've got PGHM, which is Peloton Gendarme de Haute Montagne. They're the army basically.
Okay.
Um, and they do everything that's Mont Blanc, so north side of the valley. Because north side of the valley there's the Aiguille du Midi and all the big mountain. And then we've got
I see.
Security Civil that do anything that's in the resort areas, on the resort mountains. And they come and just pick up broken legs, yeah,
Right.
climbers, slip
Got.
climbers, and
Oh,
so
okay.
yeah.
So
But we've
helicopter
got
rescue
yeah,
or
everywhere.
okay.
We've
Wow. I
got
mean, it's a huge mountain. So I mean
oh,
that
it
that
is,
makes
yeah,
sense.
huge. It's Chamonix's got the best helicopter rescue service in the world, they say. It's no matter where you are in the Mont Blanc Massif, there's a helicopter can be there within 15 minutes. You can have one there. There's not a moment where you'll not look up in the sky and see a helicopter. It's like they're everywhere. I
Wow.
know
Wow.
in this valley, there's two security civil helicopters and two PGHM helicopters in this valley that are like
Wow.
reserved for flying around here. And then we've got three CMBH helicopters, but they do avalanche setting off and all that kind. So there's a lot of helicopters that are always up in the valley, and they're always in the air.
Wow.
They're like, there's
Super
always
busy.
someone that's hurt
Yeah.
himself. Yeah.
Well,
I
yeah,
mean,
and
last
like,
time I had to call them in 5 minutes before they answered. So busy, and
wow.
I
Wow.
mean, yeah, they're
Jeez.
always doing something.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, so you mentioned all the lifts and like the gondolas and the trams and stuff in that area. I think with accessibility comes more people, and with that comes more injuries. So
Yeah.
it makes sense that Chamonix would need such a robust rescue team
Oh, it does.
because
Yeah, it's
there's a ton of people that go there.
ridiculous.
And I mean, dude, like some of the videos I see of you guys speed riding off of like Mont Blanc or wherever in that area, you
Yeah.
take like two trams or one tram at some points, and you're on top of a 4,000 vertical meter
Yeah, the Aiguille du
line.
Midi is that's like the go-to lift. I mean, this winter, the moment where where I went from that stage of being okay and getting into good at flying, really good at controlling, and just spent days practicing, was probably early July when I was really trying to get that practice as much as possible. Like
Sure.
everything, core stability, and just trying to keep the line smoother. So that's why I
Mhm.
can't wait to go back up this winter. But for anyone that's been flying for a few years, the go-to thing's your Gris du Midi, which is 3,842 meters, and there's a lift that brings you up.
That's like almost 10,000 feet of vert, and
And
it's
we
lift accessible.
and you're at the bottom in 5 minutes. Just go straight back up.
Right.
5, 6 minutes and
Yeah.
just go straight back up.
That's a long speed flight, man. Like I can't even imagine. I mean, we've got some like four
Longest I've done
thousand
7 minutes in this valley, and that was long.
and like flying pretty aggressively, I'm assuming. Like you
I
weren't
mean, you
just like
just
hanging
yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah, you go through glaciers, through crevasses, and it's like it's a long. It's definitely a place to come flying if you
So,
love
oh,
flying.
for sure. Yeah. I'm hoping next year, man. Fingers crossed.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
I'm curious about that stuff. So I've seen your videos, I've seen some other guys' videos that I'm assuming you're friends with, and
Yeah,
I look at
pretty
the
much everyone.
lines that they're taking, and I'm like, did you know that like crevasse opened up and then you flew to this other one? Like, are you like how do you approach those lines when you're like deep in it? Are you like looking at it from above a couple times and then kind of getting into it? Like, what is your approach to these like big
I mean, that
mountain
is a good
lines?
question. I mean, that's a good question. Um, I think when you're a bit newer to flying, you take them a lot more carefully. Um, but for me, being good at flying isn't necessarily like being good at one line. It's just like you're saying, it's that ability to fly through a line that you've never done before and be able to go, right, I can do this here, I can. But generally, just like I said, we can lap these things like ridiculous amounts. It's you fly over it 3 times and then go, right, that's what I need to do, and just through going through it over and over and over. Like we've got
Right.
the north face of the Midi, which is 1,500 meters of vertical with just cliff, ice cliff. That's where all the
Hmm.
big speed riding videos come from. You're down that in a minute and a half. I
And then
mean,
you just pack up, you stash your wing in
yeah, you
your
can lap
stash
that. I
bag,
know
and
people that have lapped that like 25 times in one day. They've done it.
25 laps
I
in a
think
day.
the
That
most
was
I've
going to be
done
my
is
next
18.
question.
The most I've
18
done is
in a
18,
day?
and you're doing
Dude,
18 times 1,500. It's a lot of flying.
bro, I am so beyond jealous,
In
dude.
summer, we're
So,
doing about, no, in summer, we're doing about 7 a day before conditions get too,
because of thermals and stuff,
yeah,
like you're
it's
mostly
not the
doing it in the
same.
morning and the evening, I'm assuming.
And we can't fly off the Midi in summer. We're not allowed to. The
Oh,
Midi,
really?
it's closed, but that whole north face of the valley is closed in summer. From 1st of July to 1st of September. Basically reserved because that's like the mountaineering area. It's reserved for emergency helicopters and stuff.
I see.
So
Yeah,
they
they don't
don't
want to
want
clog
a
up the
load of guys in
airspace.
the air and just chopping a load of people up. Wouldn't be
Right.
that
Because
good.
most people that are going to climb that, like in an alpine, or like a
Yeah,
mountaineering
yeah, they're
style,
gonna
are
go
going
like
to do it
Alpine style.
in the summer, right?
Yeah,
That's a
yeah,
summertime gig.
yeah.
Makes
Something you do.
sense.
So
That makes
we're
sense.
not allowed to
But
fly over
so
there in summer.
so where do you fly mostly in the summer?
Well, on the other side of the valley, and that's where like Brevant and most of the speed flying videos are taken. This valley, those
I
are
see. Okay. And is there still
that's
snow up
easily
there?
fact. Nah,
Are you ski launching or are you foot launching?
foot launching all the time.
Okay.
No
So the
snow.
snow's gone. The snow's gone.
Oh, long gone.
Okay,
It's
so
just
it's not a
big
glacier.
open
Okay.
takeoff. Nah, just big open. The tops at what? How high is the top up? The tops are. It's exactly 1,000 meters from Chamonix, so it's about 2,035 meters. So there's about 1,000 of vertical.
Wow. And what kind of terrain are you playing with there? Is it like, I mean,
We're
grass? Is it
talking.
rocks? Is it
Oh,
everything?
it's nasty.
Nasty.
Yeah, you can't afford to
Big
crash. We're
big
talking
couloirs and like
big
lots of.
couloirs, big jagged rocks in them, and loads of pine trees. That's the main problem. Loads of pine trees and big gullies. So, and in the bottom of the gully's full of nasty sharp rocks. So you kind of can't.
There's no putting it
It's a
down
place.
early.
No, there's no kind of. You're not gonna make it out if you hit those rocks. I mean, it's an area where you don't really want to mess up. There's a lot, but
Fair.
like off, we can. So Brevant is it's like a double lift. It goes to a first section, which is called Plan, and then there's top section that's called Brevant. I've never taken off Brevant, always been a bit too scared, and conditions have never been good. The
Hmm.
very top's at 2,500 meters. Yeah, and it's basically a base jump takeoff. It's about three
Oh.
steps and then off about 1,000 meter cliff,
Oh. Yeah,
and it's really
that's
steep. Like there's no going back once you started. It's you're going.
you're going. Yeah, that's yeah, cliff launches are scariest for sure. And I mean, I don't think it matters if it's, 10 meters or 1,000.
Thousand.
It
It'll
doesn't
still go
matter. Like
wrong.
it can still go wrong, and it's just you just have longer to think about it.
But I mean, this
So,
takeoff's it's not that nice. I mean, it's so steep that your wing almost falls down every
oh
time you
wow,
lay it. And the problem is the wind comes from the back, but you're hidden by this ridge, which kind of creates a turbulent, not very stable wind, which is
sure.
not what you want for a cliff launching. So
You're
it's
you're
very
like
rare.
catching the updraft of the rotor coming off the back, so it kind of feels like you have a headwind, but you really don't. That stuff scares me.
Yeah, it is exactly. and off a cliff launch, you don't want that. So it's
No.
rare that people launch off there.
Wow. Yeah. So
But we
it's
can
normally
launch
that
off
that
the
first lift
casual
up.
paragliding thing. Yeah.
Sure.
The
Something a
thing
little bit
which
less
is
aggressive.
really good with Brevon is the winds on the mid station is amazing. It's always, every single day, headwind.
Oh, that's
The
awesome.
second the sun comes out, it goes headwind. And it's always
Hmm.
that perfect, it's like 10, 15 kilometers an hour headwind. It's like perfect breeze of just inflate your wings straight away.
Yeah.
It You kind of have to stop flying around 11:30. Stop flying proximity anyway.
Stop
It
flying
just
because of
gets
the
super
thermals.
shaky. Yeah, super. And they're really strong in Chamonix. They're like ridiculous. Like you'll get a collapse without problem. Like
Ugh.
they'll
So
destroy you.
are you running a reserve or are you just going slick? What's your setup like?
I'm getting like naked. Yeah, nothing.
Yeah. I mean,
No, so I've
I don't run
got.
a reserve either. I get it, but I mean, in a place where it's that, thermic.
There's no point.
No,
Like I mean, I'm flying level fusion harness, which amazing like reversible harness. Like love it.
I have one.
And
Yeah,
then I'm on the
they're great.
Pixel 9, but no result. Like I had a friend, you might have seen the video. Vladimir hit the cable car lines at the Aiguille de Midi, and he's about 60 meters up, and the reserve didn't have time to come out. I'm like, we're about 1 meter up, so what's the point? I mean, we're flying
Yeah,
proximity. It's like no
it's
point.
just another piece of equipment to deal with, really. I agree when
You're doing
you're
70
doing
mile an hour down the mountain, about 3 feet
yeah,
off the ground. Your
reserve's going to
reserve's
slow.
not going to happen.
Maybe it's going to catch a rock. I mean, I mean, it's not going to do anything. Like it's pointless. Um, yeah, I actually haven't
It's
seen that video, but I'd be curious too.
oh, you need to watch it. It's
The thing
hilarious. Well, it's
that's
not.
hung me up about reserves is I don't know if you've seen this, but there's a video that's kind of been cycling. I think it might be a little older now, but it was out in California at Saboba. If you've seen that little
Mm,
flight park, and this dude
no.
like it's just this like it's in the middle of Palm Springs, kind of around the outskirts of Palm Springs. It's like a literal desert, but then there's this huge mountain, Mount San Jacinto. It's like 10,000 feet, but it goes from zero, like it goes from sea level. So it's like one of the
Oh,
biggest,
epic.
one of the most hikes or climbs that you can do in the U.S. I think is that one. I could be wrong, but anyway, at the foothills of this huge mountain, there's this flight park, and it's got
Okay.
cool terrain. You can kind of plan it. It's undulating and it's steep, and there's like 15 launches. Whatever. This dude, I think, launches with like a tension knot, or it might have even been a line over. It was really weird. He kind of flies out, and he knows something's up, and he's trying to like fix the problem. And I think he was flying a Thor. Actually, I could be wrong. Sorry,
Pink
fluid.
fluid wings. Yeah, fluid. Might have seen the video.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And he
Bright
and he
pink.
gets his. Yep. Yeah. It's a pink wing.
Yeah,
Probably like 11 meter ish. Like
something
it's kind
like
of hard
that.
to
Yeah.
tell, but a little bit bigger, so he's not going super fast. And he gets his reserve out, and it totally saved him. Like I don't know if he would have died, but he certainly would have been pretty messed up from that coming falling from
Mm.
that. And that saved him. And it kind of changed my perspective a little bit about what's possible. But then I haven't gotten around to getting one because I'm like, yeah, like you said, you're a few feet off the ground. Where I primarily fly, I'm not that far off the ground. Like I don't think if anything, it would just complicate putting on and taking off my harness. And to me, it's not really worth
Yeah,
it. But
exactly.
I don't know. But that video made me think because I'm like, huh, like maybe there is a
Should we?
maybe. I
Purpose?
mean, I don't know, dude. I was interested in airbags. I've got the Level Wings Fusion. I bought the airbag. The first day I ran that thing is the day I broke my leg, and I'm convinced the reason I broke my leg is because of the airbag.
Oh,
Because I was swooping with my line, and I was shutting the thing down, like I was done. I was sliding on
yeah.
my feet, and instead of like sliding on my ass or standing up, I caught the airbag and it rolled me forward. And right
Oh
as that
no.
happened, my foot caught like this hole in the ground and just ripped
And
it like 100 degrees
oh,
the wrong
nasty.
way.
Yeah.
And I'm convinced that had I not had the airbag, that
It would
wouldn't
have
have
worked.
happened because I would have either slid out or I would have just like stood up. I mean, it wasn't, it was that abrupt, like there's fabric on the ground now that I'm not used to. And this was literally like my fifth time flying with that configuration. And yeah, anyway, I think that there's a time and place for those tools, but at the same time, I don't know if I have found the time and place. So
Yeah, no, I see what you mean. Yeah,
I
it's like
get it. And also when you speed ride, like like it sounds like you do a
no
lot
need.
of, you really don't need it, especially not the airbag. I mean, it's pointless, but
I
reserve
mean, you're
even.
on skis. You can take
Yeah.
heavy hits on skis. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
And
fine.
you can land going 50 miles per hour and it's not that big of a deal
I've
because
taken
you're
heavy landings on skis,
sure.
like you
Well,
come in really hard and smash in the ground, but you got skis so you still slide and your knees hurt. But I mean,
right. Right. No, for sure.
it's not
Well,
as
so
bad as it could be.
I just I want to circle back here to the very beginning of this. So you said you're born and raised in Chamonix, or were you?
Yeah,
Yeah, you were. But you don't sound French. Am I wrong? I mean, my French is
no, it's
terrible.
what's it called? My no, it's my parents are English.
English.
I'm
Okay.
so I'm French,
You
but
are because you were
both my
born there.
parents are English. Yeah, yeah, I'm born, but I've got dual nationality, both French and English.
That's
But
cool. That's cool. I was gonna say your French
yeah,
sounds really good. I mean, I don't speak French, but I hear it,
oh
you
yeah,
know?
no,
I
I've been
mean,
in school all my life in France, and
sure.
so
But
yeah,
and your English is amazing too.
everyone
Unlike
speaks English here.
everybody speaks English. That's pretty standard. Do you speak
In
French in
Chamonix, everyone
school?
speaks English. Yeah,
Sure,
yeah, in
sure.
school you do, yeah, but everyone in Chamonix
Off.
speaks English anyway. There's more English people here than French. I mean, it's
Makes
ridiculous.
sense. It makes sense. Well, and your parents obviously being English, I'm assuming the
Helps.
English is their first language.
Yeah, yeah,
And then,
definitely.
but then, so what brought them to France?
Skiing.
Okay, so they're outdoor people as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's cool.
Definitely. Yeah, they came for skiing.
That's really cool.
I
And
made the
so
most of that.
you started as a skier, obviously. I started
Yeah,
skiing when I was 3. I'm assuming
yeah, same.
living where you live with the kind of parents you have, you probably did the
Yeah,
same
same.
thing.
Yeah,
Cool.
as soon as I could.
Yeah, but
As I
then
got
I
stuck
mean,
on two twigs.
right, right. Um, have you been speed flying for a full calendar year yet, or is that coming up?
I'll be coming up more like early winter.
Wow,
We
dude.
say a
And I mean,
year, but
so
yeah, no.
it okay, so it blows my mind. Like I watch you guys, and you guys are all insane, and you're all young. I mean, 18's young. I mean, you're not
Yeah, yeah,
you're not a kid, but you're pretty young. And
yeah, yeah,
I
definitely.
I saw this video the other day. This like 15-year-old do like a double barrel roll and then come in and swoop, and I'm like,
Oh
how
no,
old is this
yeah, in
guy?
Morzine.
I think that's his name. I apologize. I
Pink
forget his
Wing.
name. Yeah,
Yeah,
tiny,
it's
like
Nuri,
6 meter,
yeah.
but he's also 15 years old. I'm like, bro, what? How? But and then I'm like, oh, this kid's probably been doing this for like at least a couple of years. 'Cause, I mean, he's 15. How young do you start? But and then I watch videos of you, and I'm like, this dude's a seasoned pro. Like the stuff
The
the
lines.
recent reel you put up with the yellow Pixel 9 meter. I'm
Mm.
like, this guy's been doing this for years. He has to. I cannot believe you haven't been at this for longer than a year.
Yeah, I mean,
What was your
I want to know
progression
how
like?
that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
I
so
love to,
what
love
got you
about
into it, and then what? Be honest too. Like I'm not judging.
that. Yeah,
You
no, I
know,
mean, it's a sport of, I'm gonna be totally honest. I'd just be sat in school being bored. I'd always look out the window, and it was looking up at Brabant, and like every 2 minutes, because you'd be seeing these guys barreling down,
no way.
and I
Out
was
of your
like, oh
school
my
window,
God.
you could see people flying.
Yeah, you'd watch the guy, the speedos come down, I'd be like, oh my God, that looks amazing.
Dude,
And
I'd be so distracted. I
so
was
wanted to get
distracted, and I
into
didn't
it.
have speed flyers out the window. I couldn't focus in school at all, and it wasn't even for that. You know, I was looking out the window at nothing. That's amazing.
Well, I was just looking at them, but I don't know, I must have been 14 at the time, and you're not getting into it at 14. Let's put it that way. And then a bunch of
Yeah,
my friends got into it, probably all the guys you saw the videos from, that have now all become professional pilots. They got
yeah,
into it like a year and a half before me, 2 years. Let's say 2 years before me. They're about 2 years older. So I mean, they started them, and then I finally managed to like get my hands. I decided, right, I'm getting a wing. I'm learning. So I called up my
sure.
friends and went, guys, teach me.
I love it.
So
So
they
how
taught
did
me.
that look? Was that like ground handling in the field? Was it like little
That
hill
was
foot
yeah.
launches, or how did that go?
Yeah, I mean, I had a gin nano, an 11 square meter nano that I was
Okay.
learning on, and so I was in a boarding school in Grenoble, which is mountainy, but the mountains are a long way, so I just had to find fields to run down. So I just thought the wing was going to take off, it didn't, but I was so
Sure, you're
disappointed.
just practicing
So I
launching
spent
without actually
weeks
leaving the
trying,
ground.
yeah, spent weeks
Sure.
trying, falling over because I'm running too fast,
I get
and
that.
then winter came, and decided I went right. Even before the lift's like first snow, got my skis out, hiked up, and started practicing.
That's
And
cool.
I met a friend of mine up there. I met another speed rider, and turns out it was a friend of mine. I was like, "No way, you've also started learning this year?" And we were like, "Yeah." And I went, "Have you ever like thrown yourself off the end of Latour, like off that steep bit, just so you start getting your first actual flight in?" He went, "No." I was like, "Do you not want to just like try it?" So I kind of just got the wings and went straight and off the mountain. That was the most terrifying experience of my life. That first ever flight, I'll never forget that in my entire life.
Oh, I
I was
bet. I
terrified. I
bet.
mean, just that
Yeah.
feeling of going, "Oh my God, what am I doing?" Like,
Yeah, and that's a pretty floaty wing too. That's kind of a mini wing, or is that actually like a speed wing? I haven't
that's the speed
flown.
wing. But
It's a speed wing. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't.
2011. Yeah, 14. It's a really old, really rubbish, and really collapsible speed wing, which I didn't know at the time. But
Sure. Yeah.
I thought it was really stable. It turns out it wasn't. But
Yeah,
I was
it's
so
dude, it's
terrified as it's an old wing. I was like, I'm not going to do a barrel. I don't want to learn how to do it because I'm scared the wing's just going to tear apart. And I think that was amazing because it took me ages to get my first barrels in. I mean,
with that wing or with a different
just
wing or
with
just
another
in
wing,
general with another wing.
but just
Yeah.
in general, it took me, which means I got to practice all the basics, like for a long time before. Like we were just taking off, going straight lines. And the first time I landed, I told them, right, we're going straight back up. So I went straight back up. And then just lapped
Nice.
it next day. I was back up there at the opening all day, just going up and down, and then just
That's
practicing
amazing.
zigzagging between trees and just practicing that. And then I'm not gonna lie, the second wing I bought was a Spitfire, 9.5 square meters, which was not that clever idea.
Dude,
Like
my first
ridiculous.
wing was a Spitfire 2 plus. It was a 15 meter, but
Yeah, mine's
that's
a 2 plus as well. I've
oh
never
yeah.
foot launched it. I'm too scared.
Dude, foot launching a 15-meter Spitfire was so
Mm.
scary. Like so scary. That thing is, I mean, and it was a 15 meter. It was floaty enough, but I think had it been any smaller, it wouldn't have worked. It just that wing is trimmed steep for a good reason. It's for speed riding, but so your second wing was a 9.5 Spitfire.
That was something. I was
That's
terrified. I
pretty.
mean,
That's pretty. I mean, dude, I don't judge because I went so I came from skydiving, so and I had like just under 500 jumps, so not a ton, but
okay.
good canopy experience, and I was really into canopy piloting. So I was getting training in that. I was flying smaller canopies. It translated mechanically for the most part. But I went from a 15-meter Spitfire to an 11-meter Mirage, like the original Mirage, and then
Mm.
a 10-meter Fizz, really quick. Like I think I did 130 speed flights with the Spitfire in like a month and a half, and then I
Yeah.
did 200 ish with the Mirage and mixed in some with the Fizz. But the 15-meter Spitfire just it didn't excite me. It was boring. It didn't do what I wanted it to do. It felt like I was flying a bigger skydiving canopy, which I was trying to get away
Yeah.
from anyway, because
I see. Yeah.
they're just boring. I mean, it's not boring. It's just when you're expecting it to do something and it lags. That's the part that I got hung up on. Um, but yeah, and then I took 4 months off because of ski season, and there's no speed riding here unless you want to go in the backcountry. At least when the resorts are open. And I got a 9-meter Rapidos, and then
Oh, nice.
um, and then the 13-meter line. So that's kind of where I'm at now, is like that. And there's nothing better than at least at my wing loading, the 9 meter, pretty much any wing, but like the Rapidos, I'm assuming an R3, R3X would be even better, but I just found a new, less expensive Rapidos. Dude, that thing, like, if I tell it to do something, it does it like right now. There's no lag, and that's what I've been looking for, so it makes me really happy. Um,
Hmm.
would I have been okay starting on something like that? Probably, but I mean, it wasn't worth like I'm happy I did the progression that I did. And to be honest, the only reason I'm saying this is because like I don't judge people for downsizing quickly if it's for the right reasons and responsibly. And it
Yeah.
sounds like you did it responsibly. Like you're obviously surrounded by guys that are really good, and they've gotten you to the point where you are really good. So why would you be flying a bigger wing? Like,
Well, I think the
uh,
best thing for me exactly was getting a big wing because I went from the 9.5 and spent all winter on it, but there wasn't too much progress. I mean, we were progressing. You learn your first 360s, your first barrels, but everything's still a bit all Willy Wonka all over the show. Um,
sure.
and like the control wasn't half as much. And then earlier on in the summer, in like late, like mid-May, I got an 11 Pixel 11.
Mm,
And that was like best thing ever and that's where I got into foot launching. And
I
foot
see.
launching, that was, well, I'm going to get an 11 to foot launch because it's a Spitfire and it, especially a 9 meter Spitfire is not going to be the best thing.
No. Yeah.
That was the best thing because, I mean, I was flying a lot smaller wing, but I was doing things controlled, so I spent as much time as possible practicing again those things like smooth nicely and like controlled movements, like being able to control every second of that barrel for 360. And the Pixel was just
Right.
amazing for that. And then a few weeks ago went on to 9 Pixel about 3 weeks ago, and that is terrifying.
It's
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 fast.
amazing how much faster 2 square meters is. Like the
Oh, it's
difference between an
fast.
11 and even an 11 and a 10, but an 11 to 9 is a huge jump. It doesn't look like it. Like if you lay the wings out, it's like, yeah, it's smaller, but it's not like going from like if you put an 11 meter next to a 6 meter, you're like, holy crap. Like that is a tablecloth. That makes no sense. How does that even work? You put a 9 meter next to an 11 and it's like, oh yeah, like it's a little smaller, but man, the speed,
It's ridiculous.
the responsiveness, and I mean, I don't know how much you weigh, but I think we're built kind of the same, like
Probably,
wiry,
yeah.
mountain dudes. Like
Yeah.
our wing loading isn't that intense on a 9 meter. It's like a
I'm on
two.
about, what is it? I don't know how much pounds is.
Yeah, sorry,
I don't know,
yeah, metric is
65 to
better.
70 kilos. 65,
Sure.
70 kilos. Don't know what that is in
Yeah.
you guys, but
Yeah, I don't know. I weigh, mm, uh, shoot,
between
it's
100 and 20, 140 pounds around there. I don't know, maybe a bit more.
I'm like 160 pounds, and I
I
think
love it.
I'm
Um,
70 kilograms. I don't know. I
have a
should
look.
know this, but I don't.
So,
It metric is better, but it confuses me because everything is not
not the same,
metric
yeah.
here. Yeah, but anyway, like your wing loading's not insane. It's not like
No, it's not.
but just like maybe it's the bigger aspect ratio, or maybe it's like it's just smaller. There's less drag because there's less material in general. It's a huge jump in everything. So I think it's cool that you flew the 9.5, obviously in a speed riding scenario, and then you
It helps.
upsize to the 11, right? Because it's a little slower, but it's still responsive, and you can still like really get into it with those things. But I like that progression a lot. Is it for everybody? Of course not. But I think that there's something to be said for like, you know, was it responsible for you to speed ride a 9.5 meter? Yes. Would it be responsible for you to have gone straight to a 9.5 meter foot launching? Maybe not.
Maybe no, I
Um,
don't. Definitely not even.
I mean, you can speak on this way more than I can because I have like a dozen speed ride flights in my life. I mean, I really
Yeah.
don't, because I just don't have access. How do you view speed riding and speed flying? Are they two separate sports? Or, I
Yeah.
mean, Totally, right?
I mean, I don't have. Well, I've got way more experience speed flying, so I kind of class that as a bit more like it's a bit more as my discipline. I need to see with this winter because I'm going to be riding a lot more. But I mean,
Sure.
flying for me is it's that funness. It's that going through the gullies proximity, and riding's not as much about the flying. It's about finding undiscovered areas. It's like two different, yeah, completely different sports. I
Different way to
prefer the
look at it.
comfort. I prefer the comfort and the safety of speed riding. Speed riding, you kind of feel safer because you go in the worst case trying to find somewhere to like crash land, if not in the worst case.
Yeah, I mean, because you can land going 60 miles per hour, 100 kilometers an hour, and just throw the brakes. I mean, because
Yeah, yeah,
you don't
just
have to run. You just slide like you would if you were skiing. Um,
and yeah, it's just overall probably a bit safer. I mean, well, it is safer overall, I
right.
think.
Yeah, I could see that. I could also see how your sight picture, or not even your sight picture, but like what you're looking for in a speed ride versus a speed flight is totally different. Because like for me, I'd like to put tracks in a spot where like nobody has ever skied, because you're
Yeah,
on
that's the whole
top of
point.
like a
Yeah.
huge cliff that you wouldn't be able to jump off of without some sort of parachute or whatever, or a speed wing for that matter. Versus like speed flying, like I want to get close to the ground, but I don't want to touch it. It's like I just want to
Yeah,
go look at it and just keep going. So
have
I
fun.
could, yeah. So exactly. I mean, I could see how like there is a huge distinction between just how you approach a
I
speed
kind of
ride
approach
versus a
speed
speed
flying as
flight.
like a. I approach speed flying as like a race almost. I mean, it's like an undiscovered track. Like find
Right.
new lines through this track, like find gates, like gates through trees, make your way and explore over here through this, and like I imagine it as a race. Like
Yeah,
totally, it's like that freedom to
absolutely.
just go and discover wherever you want, get closer if you want to, go higher if you want to, mess around in the air if you want to.
For sure.
Totally
For
up to
sure.
you. I
So
mean,
yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. So I mean, that's kind of how you approach
that's how I
your
approach it.
your
Yeah,
flying is, yeah, just like looking for new gates, looking for new, you know, lines
fun.
down in proximity. It makes sense.
I'm
It makes total
practicing on
sense.
the lines that you do know, like just trying to get them. Because the more you know a line, the more you can play around with that like racetrack. You found your track, but now you just want to get faster around the track. It's like Formula One. But you choose
Sure.
your track and then you try and get faster down it, or smoother, or just,
That makes sense.
yeah, those
Yeah,
little
that's really
things, just
cool.
like try and get those smooth one momentum things, which is what I'm really practicing on at the moment. Just this
Sure.
like one fluid thing.
Yeah, and man, it feels so good when you nail it. It feels so good.
Oh,
Like when it
yeah,
finally clicks and you're like, "Oh, yep, that was it." Like, and then you just want to go
that was the
replicate it,
line.
Yeah, I love that feeling. I totally get that.
Because every
That's
time you
like,
go back up and you're like, I need to just get that little thing, just tweak that little bit, just that little section, maybe not do that there, maybe. And then when you finally get that line, you're like, that's it.
yeah, when
Go
it
explore new
clicks,
areas.
for sure.
It's like a level in a video game almost. It's just next level, next.
Totally.
But they're all just as hard. I mean,
Oh, yeah. I mean, and the risk is always there. It's not like we're, playing in a vacuum. I mean, there's still risk and stuff, and um even if it's something you're super familiar with, it can still go wrong. So like
oh,
there's no
easily,
like
yeah.
downtime in this sport. Like if you're in the air, if you're clipped into your wing, it's game on.
Until you
And
come out.
until you come out, yeah. And I love that. That's kind of what drew me to skydiving. Well, my parents were both jumpers back in the day, but
Okay.
just when I put my rig on and I was walking to the plane, like nothing else in the world mattered or existed. It was just that. And I think I've always searched for these sports that are like um that require all of you to be present. And
Mm.
there's other ways to do this. You could like meditate, or you could, whatever. I've never been good at that. I'm way too ADHD for any of that crap. My meditation came in the form of, you know, quote unquote extreme sports. I don't like to call them that, but these kind of like different, non-team sports.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I think that speed flying is the pinnacle of it. Mostly because you don't need an airplane. You don't have to wait for people. You
You
don't
can
have
just
to
go hiking
pack.
and
I mean, one could argue that base jumping is like the pinnacle of like, being present in extreme sports or whatever. And I don't disagree, but I think
but they
that
both
there's
come with their
still
downside. Base
the,
jumping, you need a big cliff, you need like that.
exactly.
Whereas we can have that big smooth mountain or the big cliff mountain, just find a launch off it, and we can glide down. Whereas base jumpers kind of just drop down, and
Yeah. I totally
they're very
agree.
similar in the way they work. I'd class speed flying as a form of base jumping almost, because it kind of is. It's that full commitment and in there,
Yeah.
almost just as much risk probably. But
I mean, I've never base jumped. I've got a lot of friends that do. I kind of came at a crossroads where I was either going to start base jumping or start speed flying, and I leaned towards the speed flying, partly due to my family influencing me a little bit in that regard, but also just in like I looked at skydiving for what I loved about it, which was the canopy piloting stuff and swooping and all that, and I was like, I can't really swoop a base canopy. That's not really the point, but I can swoop
no,
the crap out of a speed wing, and like that's what I want to do. So it kind of led me down that path. But dude, also like you said, I mean, there's this zone. I live 2 hours east of Seattle, so we're like inland a little bit in Washington.
okay,
We were surrounded by foothills, so I can see Mount Rainier. It's like our Mont Blanc kind of, but not as big.
okay.
It's like from our house I can see it. It's just so we're in the foothills of that huge mountain, and there I've opened up like I don't know 5 6 different sites that I can fly here, and I mean I'm talking like 400 vertical feet. Like it's like a joke. I mean it's like not tall, and it's just
Yeah.
barely steep enough to like be able to fly it. So you're kind of proxy flying the whole way. It's a little dangerous in that sense, and it's all rock, of course. Um, but like I think it's so cool that I can just like grab my freaking harness and my wing and go hike up a little hill and fly off of it if I wanted to without like any red
Anything, yeah.
tape. Nobody's telling me I can do it or I can't. It's just my decision based on, my
What
knowledge of
you,
the
yeah.
weather and all that crap, like it's so freeing and liberating to just be able to do this sport and then to fly. It's like it's incredible. I think all it is the pinnacle of sport um, that doesn't require like a motor or anything. Like maybe
Yeah,
F1 is
exactly.
the pinnacle of sport in like the motor world. Um, but yeah, anyway, I'm ranting, but it's just because I'm so passionate about getting
Oh yeah, it is definitely.
like,
It's
and
like
obviously I'm preaching to the choir to you. I'm preaching to the choir of this podcast. Most people that are listening to this, it seems like, are in the sport, but like, and I mean, so this is actually a good question for you. Something I wanted to ask you is like where do you see the sport going, and what do you
ooh,
think you're gonna do to help it like grow? Because I mean it's big in France, but like it could be way bigger.
it's getting
um
big. But I mean, this is a thing, and this is where we're encountering problems in Chamonix. They're not taking into account that it's becoming a big sport. 10 years ago, well, not even 10 years ago, 6 years ago, there's barely anyone that did it, even in France. It's really not. But you look at the videos from 10 years ago and the videos now, we're talking, there's a mad difference in level. The wings are so performant nowadays compared to how they were. The sport's only about 20 years old, so I mean, not a lot of people did it. Where's it going? I don't know. We just need to not get it banned, get it keeping in the right direction. But I
yeah,
think it's definitely getting bigger and it's definitely getting a bigger influence. But after all, it is an extreme sport, and extreme sports kind of never get too big. They're never, everyone hears about them, but no one actually gets into them. They'll still remain a minority,
they will. I
which is
think
a shame. But
I just to talk about base for a second in comparison, I think that base jumping is very appealing to a lot of people, but very unreachable because at least in the US, if you do it correctly, you have to be a skydiver, which costs a shit ton of money. You got to get skydives minimum, and then you go to Twin Falls, Idaho, to the Perrine Bridge, and you take a first jump course, or intro to base, or whatever they call it, and you start base jumping, and then you progress like to a 2-piece tracking suit, a 1-piece tracking suit, and then a wingsuit, and you do that all out of the plane. So you're still skydiving while you're actively, progressing through base jumping. It takes a lot of time to get to the point where you're standing on top of a cliff in Switzerland, and you're going to proximity fly a wingsuit down to the valley. Like, I get that. The thing about speed flying is that it does not take that long, nor is there any red tape.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
you go on Facebook Marketplace and you could buy a wing from anywhere in the world and teach yourself. I'm not saying to do this, but you could teach yourself and go do it. Like, there's no red tape.
Works.
So I think that the ceiling for the sport is only limited by the participants. And what I mean by that is kind of what you said a minute ago, is that if too many people rush, like I just described, and die, then it's going to get banned, and then the sport will die. Right? So what are you guys doing? Like, okay, 2 parts to this. What is the government in France doing to mitigate that? And then also, what you guys are ambassadors, because you rip, and people know who you are. I knew who you were, and I didn't even know you. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to miss if you're paying attention. Are you guys doing anything to help mitigate the risk of the sport getting banned while also growing it?
Well, the government's not doing anything, put it that way. It's
Fair.
still too. I know, like, Les Deux Alpes used to be a massive speed flying place. It got banned this summer in Les Deux Alpes.
Recently, right? Like, really recently.
Yeah, July. Because I got friends that went early June and it wasn't banned. What didn't help is last week a German speedfly got killed in Les Deux Alpes, which, whilst it was illegal, which really has not helped the situation.
Yeah, I heard about that. There was a girl, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chamonix, this is where the problem comes in. There's a thing that we call sham style in France. Because the Chamonix style of doing things is not caring less about anything. The style in which people do things around here, conditions, they don't care. Blah, blah. I mean, I can't talk either because, everyone does it. You're up there in hail and you're still flying. It's not what you should be doing.
Jeez.
It hurts.
Yeah, I bet.
You're up there with 50 kilometers an hour of headwind. It's like you're getting pretty much blown off the mountain, but you're still up there.
Still flying. Are you flying, or are you just up there?
Flying. No, flying.
Oh, dude. Gnarly, bro. Gnarly.
You're flying backwards pretty much. It's not ideal. It's definitely not the way, and like outside of Chamonix, we've got a really bad reputation for this kind of mindset, because people fly really aggressive in Chamonix, really like hard, and then there's loads of accidents. Like, in the space of 2 weeks, we had 7 accidents.
7?
Which is quite a lot. Yeah.
When was this?
July, first 2 weeks of July, there was about 7 accidents.
Yeah, that was a rough. I heard about a couple of them, but there was
a lot.
That was a rough time. I didn't realize it was that many. Jeez.
One was fatal. The others, the 6 others, came out of it pretty well. 2
That's
didn't
good.
come out of it well. The others came out of it okay.
Right. Jeez. Yeah, it's heavy.
And it's a really close community, especially here in France. So everyone knows everyone. So.
Oh, it's the same. It's the same here. It's the same here. I know people in the state, and the state's huge, that fly, and like, I otherwise wouldn't. And we all live in different places, but we all kind of converge on the same zones, and it's a small community. I totally get that. You guys just have more.
Yeah, that's it. We've just got more of us. On the Chamonix, there's like a speed flying group thing, but it's guys from all over France.
Sure, they just
so I think it's most of the French speed riders are on it, and there's about 350.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a whole lot. I'd be surprised if there's 350 speed pilots in Washington State. I'd be surprised, maybe, but I don't know. It's hard to say. That's
So there's a fair few people.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
definitely.
everyday casual guys, there's probably about 30 of us are up there like
Every day.
every day.
Yeah,
There's always a good group of people always lapping, you know, and you become really good friends with them. So like
sure.
it's good.
Well, yeah, I
And
mean,
then
it's hard
people
not
come and
to.
go into it. It's kind of yeah, it's
Yeah, I mean, I
quite good
wonder,
like that.
you you look at Switzerland, you look at, Lauterbrunnen and how accepting they are of base there, and how, they've got this number you call before you are going to jump. And um, I, I wonder if that could be in the future for a place like Chamonix. Like you said, though,
They
I
are
mean, I
thinking about something like that.
sure. I mean, that would help, right? It would help um, keep you guys out of trouble, so to speak, because at least at that point, like they have like they're aware that you're there and doing it, and it's not like you're not going to get in anybody's way because you're kind of mixing in the system. Um, I don't know. I don't know what the solution is. I'm just curious, like if you guys have ideas for solutions. It sounds like um, you're doing your best to just mitigate people messing it up, which is great. I mean, that's a good place to start, right?
I mean,
Um,
we're trying our best,
it's
but
it's tough. It's
still always
tough, and
stupid accidents and
oh
but you
yeah,
can't
I
change
mean,
that. I mean,
but like we said earlier, man, how many people every year go in skiing
a
and
lot.
just climbing, hiking on that mountain? Like, I mean, and it
But
like I
like, I
said,
mean, yeah, like
it's
in winter in
accessibility.
Chamonix, like they're talking, yeah, we've in speedrun we've had two fatal accidents this year in Chamonix, and you're like, okay, compare that to skiing, we've got about one a week or two a week in this valley, fatal skiing accidents,
Still,
and yeah,
like, yeah, right.
but skiing
And then
brings money to
climbing,
the valley, so
skiing brings
climbing
money.
is
Yeah,
also loads, but climbing brings money as well.
it does.
Speed
Yeah,
flies, there's a few accidents, and it's like the wingsuits, there's a few accidents, but
right. I
and
mean,
then they
there's just
banned
less.
it.
There's less people doing it. That it makes sense. Unfortunately, the world that we live in, it's all about the almighty dollar or the almighty euro or the almighty fill in the blank. Like that is what the world revolves around. And as messed up as it is the reality. Um, my hope is that the sport grows to a point where it becomes relevant. Maybe up with
Yeah, I
skiing
hope
and
so.
with probably more so with climbing. It'd be hard to match skiing, just
It probably will
because
never match him.
yeah, I mean,
It's not a
lift
family
tickets,
sport, so
not really, although I think maybe paragliding could
mm,
be, but
I'm
I
hoping
don't know.
maybe not even climb because a lot of people climb in matching like windsurfing or other like air
Yeah,
sport,
well, I mean, that would mean that
kites.
to
Yeah,
make an analogy, I guess, or whatever, like surfing to windsurfing would have to be like paragliding to speed flying, because it's like a niche within a sport,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like
It is.
all those water sports kind of like came from surfing. um
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
is paragliding is more popular, I'm assuming,
Oh,
than
it's
speed flying
massive.
out there.
It's massive. Yeah.
And there's money in that, obviously. I mean, there must be,
I
or at
mean, you
least
look up
more.
in the air in Chamonix and like days like this where it's been really hot, there's hundreds of them in the air. Like it's covering the skies.
Right. And like you said earlier, the issues that you guys have ran into in the past was that you were pissing off, for lack of a better
Yeah,
term,
basically.
the tandem companies that were just tandem factory, just making money off people going for tandem paraglide rides. Um, it'd be interesting to incorporate with the paraglide culture to then grow the sport. I mean, obviously speed tandem's a thing, but it's not really. I mean, it is like the levels making a speed tandem, I'm sure. I
Mm.
think Fluid probably does. I don't know about Swing or Ozone. I don't think they are, but I know like you can literally go on to Level Wings website and buy a
Tandem,
tandem
yeah.
speed wing.
I want to learn how
Um,
to take people tandem this winter. It's one of my object like goals.
it'd
I've
be
got a
so
few
sick.
friends that have got the tandem wing,
It would be sick.
so
Yeah, I think it'd be
I'll ask
cool.
if I can borrow theirs.
But it's kind of like doing a tandem base jump. Like it isn't, it
It's
might not
risky.
be as full on as that, but you need a certain level of competence in your passenger to be able to successfully do that. Like
Yeah, yeah.
paraglide tandem, dude, you could be like a complete idiot as long as you don't, grab a bunch
Oh, I've
of
seen idiot
risers.
pilots. I've seen idiot pilots and passengers.
Well, yeah, fair enough, fair enough. And there's always that, but I guess I'm referring to like the passenger themselves. Like you can kind of like do stupid stuff and still be fine. But I feel
Yeah,
like in a speed flying tandem environment, you couldn't have that. You'd have less of a margin for like the passenger like freaking out.
definitely.
Maybe I'm wrong. I haven't done one. I definitely don't want to be a passenger for one. Um, Maybe for you, like if I came out to
That'd be
Chamonix next
fun.
year or whatever, and you're like ripping tandems, like I'd be down to go for a tandem. But in general, I probably wouldn't. But yeah, I don't know what the solution is to get to the level of acceptance, I guess. Not even popularity, but just acceptance that paragliding has. I mean, I don't know, but paragliding's also been around a lot longer, so maybe
It's an old
relatively
sport, yeah.
speaking. Relatively speaking. And I mean, you even said earlier like speed flying's been around for 20 years, but like I wouldn't I
I'd
would
say
say it
10
was a
even.
really slow like like I don't know,
It
14
was
years.
parachutes. I mean, yeah, it used to be parachutes, but
Yeah,
real
and like
speed wings, like foot launching, probably only about 10 years old.
right. Yeah, and even
10, yeah,
within that 10
15, yeah.
years in the last 6, I mean the technology has just
Shot,
exploded.
yeah.
Like the difference between the original Mirage to the 2RS is like you can't even compare them. I mean, it is that wing, the 2RS is like amazing. And the original Mirage is really good, but it doesn't have the same flight characteristics or it doesn't even ground handle as well. It's just different. It's like a totally different sport, man. It totally different wing, even though it's got the same name. They probably should have renamed it to something else because you can't. It's like apples and oranges. You cannot compare those two wings. Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't. It is cool to see, and I feel like we're right on the, especially you guys. You guys are right on the leading edge of this sport because it is so new, and if compare the guys 10, 15 years ago, not even like you said, like 6 years ago to what they were doing versus what you guys are doing and what other people are doing now, it's not the same. It's not comparable. I mean, it's almost hard to imagine that some of the stuff that you guys are doing is even possible.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely. Yeah, that's what I wondered that. Sometimes I look at it going, sometimes we things are changing.
I mean, when you're doing these proximity lines in crevasses, right? Certain death.
Mm.
Like you go into that thing, you are done. Like I
Oh
just
yeah.
saying, like that shit looks so scary to me. I literally my adrenaline spikes watching those videos. When you're doing those lines, do you feel like you're right on the edge or do you feel like you're well within your comfort zone?
I'm in my own world.
You're
I
in
just
your I'm
kind of
sorry.
feel I'm in my own world. But
Okay.
you kind of feel, I kind of feel, yeah, you don't feel like you're stressing too much. You kind of know the wings glide. You know that it's going to make it out. You know it's going to just got to zigzag it through the gates. But
Right.
I kind of feel, yeah, you feel like you're in your comfort zone. In the worst case, just pull hard on your brakes, try and get that energy, that last bit of energy. But
To
you might have
pop
seen a
up.
few videos of people that where it becomes dangerous is people like fly too much on their rears, too much on their brakes, and like the deeper they go, the more they pull on their brakes, so they lose all the energy and can't get back out and just crash into them. Or
They
you really
stall.
need to keep that dive, come in and be able to come back out, because otherwise you're not getting
Yeah.
back out.
Yeah, you definitely need energy to get away from stuff if you need to. So flying faster is actually safer. A hundred
Safer,
percent,
yeah,
100% agree. Anything like deep brakes, deep rears, it's not. You're setting yourself up. I call it backing yourself into a corner. Because
yeah,
you,
true.
you you really can't you can't do
Well, they
much with
say never
little.
more than they say your rear should never be more than horizontal. If your rears are going deeper than the horizontal line, you're gonna crash, stall. It's not good for your wing.
Right, right. That's a really good way to put it. I've never thought of that in that way at least. I don't mess with rears too much, to be honest. Just because I don't really need to. Where I predominantly fly, it's pretty steep. Um, but I
I
also
mean, ours are
don't.
so steep as well. It's why I trust them.
Well, fair enough. Yeah, and I mean, and I'd love to dive into this. Just the Pixel in general. So it's
Yeah,
kind of it might be a good segue into talk about the Pixel. It's from the onlooker, having not flown one, it looks like a parakeet slash speedwing hybrid. Is that kind of how you feel, or tell me
yeah,
what you
yeah.
think
It kind
about the
of is. Yeah.
Pixel?
So I was talking to the guys that designed it, and uh, they were basically explaining to me that they wanted to fly the R3X, but they thought that the R3X had too much like energy. It would come out, not too much energy. It would come out of a dive and not stay in the dive. You'd do a barrel and it would come back up. Like it would have loads of energy. They wanted a wing that would do a dive and stay in that dive. They wanted something that would really just drop, basically, as much as
Mm,
possible, but at the same time have a really good glide. So we're looking at a wing that's very similar to the R3X, like very.
okay,
I've got the same glide as an R3X in 8 square meters. I've got pretty much exactly the same ratio as an R3X in 8, except I dive more. And I'm on a 9.
interesting.
But
So,
I've got better, like, yeah, over with the Parakeet. It's got a throw handles on the rear with a B and C riser system. And that's like amazing for just like going on not too steep terrain or like glaciers. You can just pull on them and well, you pull them up, you drop, like you let your arms go up, you drop just like a parakeet. You pull them, you come back up, and like for going over trees, it's super precise.
that's cool.
But
So
then
you're
for like
you're
getting those snappy turns, the brakes are way safer.
oh yeah, safer and more responsive. I mean,
Yeah, way
honestly,
more
like way
responsive.
more
Yeah,
responsive. Obviously you're contorting the wing less if you're using your rears. But it is cool, and obviously with the R3X riser system and with the Pixel, you do have that like parakeet looking like rope that runs through. Does that give you like the warm and fuzzies when you're pulling on your rears to see like you have this much range and how much you can tug on those things versus like your typical speed wing that doesn't have that same pulley system?
I don't
Does
know.
that make sense?
I kind of spent so long flying on Pixel. I kind of the first time I flew rears because I learned to fly brakes like so long was on the Pixel, so I can't really compare it to other
I
wings like
see.
that in the
I
rears
see.
because like the guys that taught me how to speed fly were like, you stick on brakes for as long as possible, and it saved my life loads of times because if you need something, the brakes will always be way safer than risers if
For
ever you
sure.
need to get
Yeah.
out of a problem, and so
Yeah.
that
That
saved
that
my
makes
life
sense.
numerous
That makes
times.
sense. I think a lot of people think it's cool to fly on rears and they feel like they
It's
have
not.
to, but it's actually not. Like you
I got
do
a
not
friend
have
that
to.
Yeah, not at all. It's you can do it almost all on brakes and but fly better. It's more precise. It's not as I mean, you can kind of throw your wing left and right with rears easier
Sure. Right.
because you're like physically handling it,
You're
throwing
you're
it.
physically moving the yeah, like you're
Yeah,
you're actually moving the risers over. You're not just like pulling a brake and waiting for it or just using weight
yeah, yeah,
shift.
and it's totally doing it. Except, I mean, brakes dives better if you're flying on brakes, but then it slows the wing down. So I mean, you're kind of trying to compensate
Pros
more
and
energy,
cons.
less.
Sure.
Well, I mean, yeah, you're trying to find those. And then like you can grab the C's, only the C's if you want on the Pixel as well.
Oh,
Um,
so just a
but
little
like
less responsive, or how does that
it's not
feel?
very responsive. It's not very
Not really.
responsive.
Would there be a
Um,
reason you would grab the C's over the
Traversing,
handles?
they're really
Okay.
good for if you just want to like traverse, just grab them, like put your arm weight on them, and or let's say you want a wing tap with a friend, you'll pull hard on the C's and it'll like almost stall your wing. But
Oh,
like
interesting.
the pixels don't stall, are almost impossible to stall. I've had that thing going so slow and it don't stall, like in really
Wow.
thermal conditions, and
Wow.
saved my life.
Does it have like a RAST system like swing wings do? Is it like something similar like that, or it's got like the airlock, or how do they make them so stable? Do you know? I know it's like super
They've got a
technical, but
really. They don't have a shape anything like speed wings. They're shaped like the line, a lot more like the line is. They're really long and thin.
really high aspect
They're
ratio,
long and
right?
thin compared to levels that are, yeah, that are like small and more like ball shaped, oval shaped. These are
Yeah,
long
yeah.
and more banana shaped.
I've noticed that. I've noticed that. So does it have a reflex nose, or a shark nose rather, and like a reflex in the wing, or is it because it like that's what the line kind of markets their like stability off of is like this reflex profile. I actually misspoke on
I
this in a
think it
previous
does, yeah. I
podcast,
think
but
it does.
it must, right? I
I
mean,
think it
like
is, yeah.
little inlets, like little
Yeah,
openings
yeah,
for
fairly
the
small inlets, yeah. They're
right,
not too
right.
big. They're solid inlets, like my Spitfire does not have solid. Like they're
Yeah, that's like wide
the
open. It looks like a
boxes.
right.
Yeah, they're all oh well you can't see with the camera. But it's yeah, it's just like solid. It's almost like solid sheets of plastic each between the inlets. And like the lines on them are like fishing wire, they're so thin, which a
Oh,
lot of
really?
people find very weird on the Pixel. They're lightweight and they've got really thin lines, which a lot of people look at them and go, "You're trusting that?" Well, yeah, I'll trust that.
Right. Yeah. I'd be
I
worried
know,
about like launching and like the ground surface with like snags and stuff. I'd be a little
and they're
concerned
all the
about
same
that. But
color, which some people don't like as well.
man, that's a bummer. Yeah, that is a bummer.
It
I
doesn't bother
love
me.
like
It doesn't bother me, but
oh no,
some
of
people
course. I
don't
mean,
like it.
it's you get used to whatever you're flying. I've had plenty of wings that have all the same colors, and it's you just get used to it. But it is nice having all the colors, but it really doesn't. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. If you know what you're
Nah,
doing,
if
you
you
know
know,
what you're looking
yeah, it
at, then
doesn't change
you're
anything.
fine. Yeah, you're totally
I
fine.
know
That's really
Sky's
cool.
working on like an ultralight riser version because it does have the smoothest trimmer system on any wing there is. It's got
Really?
like because of the acro handles, you can like rest your fingers on the acro handles and press in like a button the trimmers, and they just slide so smooth, and they're really big.
Ah,
They've got a
to
really
to
big trim range,
release. Yeah, to open it up. Yeah, isn't it like
which makes it also a really good speed riding wing. It's got such long, high trim range, which makes
I
it really
bet.
good at speed riding.
Yeah, you can open
Um,
it up, go a lot steeper. That's
yeah, shame.
cool.
I might be able to see if the camera works, and I can show you a bit of system.
Yeah, man, try it out. If it kicks us out, we'll just pick back up from where we left off. Let's see if it
Okay.
goes. All right, guys. Like I said, episode got cut a little short just because of some connectivity issues. The internet's great until you need it, and then sometimes it just doesn't work. But we're only human, and technology is only technology. So I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Something I didn't mention that we didn't get to in the podcast is where you can find George on Instagram. His handle is george.brns. That's short for Barnes. So George, spelled normally, .brns. Got some really cool upcoming guests lined up. I will keep them hidden for now, but just know that there's some heavy hitters coming on. We're working our way into the industry, trying to basically create more knowledgeable, safer pilots that have a lot of fun. Because at the end of the day, if it ain't fun, it ain't worth it. And that's what life's all about, man. We're just here having fun. Make sure you leave a review if you're on Apple Podcasts. It really helps. Just give it 5 stars, say something. I've noticed that the stars help a lot, but if you write a review, like physically write one, even if it's like love the podcast, or even if it's like, yeah, this podcast sucks, I hate it, Vic doesn't know what he's talking about, his voice is annoying, his dogs are always barking in the background, whatever it is, it's all good. Just throw something up there because it does help. Or maybe I shouldn't say it helps, because if I say it helps and you think the podcast sucks, then you won't do it. So leave a 1-star review and say it sucks, and it'll hurt the podcast with a wink and a nod. Anyway, guys, appreciate you being here. Appreciate you listening. Appreciate all the folks that have reached out on the socials saying that they love it and that they're stoked that this exists. I am equally, if not more, stoked that this exists. I know it's me talking into a microphone, occasionally talking to people through a microphone. But this is something that I've always wanted. I've always wanted a podcast that is dedicated to speed flying, not just like the one-off from the other, paraglide channels or whatever. And I appreciate those too, but you can only listen to those shows so many times in a row before you kind of memorize all of them, which I may or may not be guilty of. But yeah, we'll keep them coming if you keep liking them. And by we, I mean me. I'm a one-man band. But yeah, like I said, more to come. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you guys. Have fun. Fly safe. Look cool. Speed Vector out.